Dr. Maya Rodriguez stared out the window of the space station as the blue and green planets slowly turned below her. 3 years she had been here, floating in space above this strange new world. Most people came to work on the station for 2 years and then went home to Earth. But Maya stayed. She could not leave behind all the amazing things waiting to be discovered on the planet below. The space station was called Research Station 7. It had big white walls and long hallways filled with labs and living spaces. Maya worked in the biology lab, studying all the strange plants and animals they found on the planet. The planet was called Kepler 44 to be, but everyone just called it New Eden because it was so beautiful and full of life. Maya was 32 years old and had short black hair and brown eyes. She was not very tall, but she was strong and smart. She had always loved studying animals, even as a little girl on Earth. Her parents wanted her to be a doctor for people, but Maya knew she wanted to work with creatures from other worlds. This morning, Maya was looking at samples from the crystal forests on the planet below. The trees there were made of something like glass, but they were alive and grew like real trees. Strange animals lived in those forests. Animals that looked like nothing on Earth. Some had 6 legs, some had wings, but no bodies, and some could change colors like rainbows. "Maya, come quickly," called Ben Carter from across the lab. Ben was her partner in research. He was a few years older than Maya, with sandy brown hair and green eyes. He was good with machines and computers, while Maya was better with living things. "What is it?" Maya asked, walking over to where Ben was looking at his computer screen. "I'm getting a distress signal from Sector 7, Ben said, pointing at the screen. "Something is sending out an emergency call." Maya looked at the screen. She could see numbers and lines that showed where the signal was coming from. It was deep in the crystal forests, in a place where no human had ever gone before. "What kind of signal?" Maya asked. "It's not from any of our equipment," Ben said. "It's biological. Something alive is calling for help." Maya felt her heart beat faster. In 3 years of studying this planet, they had never found anything that could send out signals like this. Most of the animals they had seen were not very smart, like the animals in Earth's forests. "We need to tell Dr. Harper," Ben said. Dr. Alan Harper was the boss of their research station. He was a careful man who did not like taking risks. "No," Maya said quickly. "You know what he'll say? He'll say it's too dangerous to go down there." "Maybe he's right," Ben said. "We don't know what's down there." But Maya was already looking at the signal more carefully. There was something special about it, something that made her think this was very important. The signal was complex, with patterns that seemed almost like language. "Ben, look at this," she said, pointing to the screen. "This isn't just a simple distress call. Look at these patterns. This is intelligent." Ben looked more carefully at the screen. His eyes grew wide. "You're right. This is like nothing we've seen before." Maya made a decision that would change everything. "We're going down there, Maya. We can't. We need permission from Dr. Harper. If we ask Dr. Harper, he'll say no. Then we'll lose our chance to help whatever is down there. It might die while we're filling out paperwork." Ben looked worried, but he knew Maya was right. Dr. Harper was very careful about safety, sometimes too careful. By the time they got permission to go, it might be too late. "Okay," Ben said. "But we go in one of the small shuttles and we take all the safety equipment." An hour later, Maya and Ben were flying down to the planet in a small shuttle. Maya was flying the ship while Ben watched the signal on his computer. The signal was getting stronger as they got closer to the planet. "It's coming from the northern part of the crystal forest," Ben said. "About 50 miles from where we usually land." Maya guided the shuttle through the planet's atmosphere. The sky was a light purple color, and 2 small moons could be seen in the distance. As they got closer to the ground, Maya could see the crystal trees spreading out like a glittering sea. "There," Ben said suddenly. "I can see smoke."
Maya looked.
Where Ben was pointing, sure enough, there was a column of dark smoke rising from the forest. She flew the shuttle toward the smoke, looking for a place to land. When they got closer, Maya could see that something had crashed in the forest. There was a big hole in the ground, and many of the crystal trees were broken and scattered around. The broken trees made a sound like wind chimes as the breeze moved through them. Maya landed the shuttle in a clear area near the crash site. She and Ben put on their safety suits and grabbed their equipment. The suits would protect them from the planet's air, which was safe for humans, but had a different mixture of gases than Earth's air. They walked carefully toward the crash site. The ground was covered with pieces of crystal from the broken trees, and they had to be careful not to cut themselves on the sharp edges. "What do you think crashed here?" Ben asked as they walked. "I don't know," Maya said. "It doesn't look like any of our shuttles." When they reached the edge of the crash hole, Maya stopped and stared. At the bottom of the hole was something she had never seen before. It looked like a ship, but it was not made of metal. Instead, it seemed to be made of something organic, like it had grown instead of being built. "Ben, are you seeing this?" Maya whispered. "I'm recording everything," Ben said, holding up his camera. "This is incredible." They climbed down into the hole carefully. The organic ship was broken open, and Maya could see that it had been beautiful. Before it crashed, it had smooth curves and surfaces that seemed to shimmer with their own light. "The signal is coming from inside," Ben said, looking at his computer. Maya walked around the ship, looking for a way inside. On one side there was a large opening where the ship had been torn apart in the crash. She shined her flashlight inside. "Oh my," she said softly. Inside the ship, curled up in what looked like a nest made of soft, glowing material, was a small creature. It was about the size of a house cat, but it was like nothing Maya had ever seen. Its body was covered in scales that changed color from deep purple to bright silver as the light hit them. It had a long neck and tail, and small wing buds on its back. Its head was shaped like a triangle, with large eyes that seemed to hold intelligence. The creature was hurt. Maya could see cuts on its scales, and it was breathing heavily. But when it saw Maya, it lifted its head and looked at her with eyes that seemed to see right into her soul. "Ben, come here," Maya called softly. "You need to see this." Ben came over and looked into the ship. "What is it?" I think Maya said slowly. "It's a baby dragon." The creature looked at them both, and Maya could swear she saw hope in its eyes. It was alone, hurt, and scared. But it was also clearly intelligent. More intelligent than any animal they had found on this planet. Maya knew that this moment would change everything. This was not just another animal to study. This was first contact with an intelligent species from another world. This little creature needed help. Without thinking about rules or regulations, Maya climbed into the ship and slowly approached the creature. It did not try to run or attack. Instead, it watched her carefully, as if trying to decide if she was a friend or enemy. "It's okay," Maya said softly, even though she knew the creature could not understand her words. "I'm here to help." She reached out her hand slowly. The creature looked at her hand, then at her face, then back at her hand. Finally, it moved forward just a little and touched its small head to Maya's palm. In that moment, Maya felt something she could not explain. It was like a warm feeling spreading through her whole body, a feeling of connection and understanding. She knew somehow that this creature was not just intelligent, but also kind and gentle. "I'm going to take care of you," Maya whispered to the creature. "I promise." The creature seemed to understand, because its scales shifted to a soft, warm gold color, and Maya thought she could almost see it smile. Maya had made a decision that would change her life forever. She was going to take this orphaned creature back to the space station and care for it, no matter what the rules said. She did not know that this decision would eventually change the future of all humanity. All she knew was that a small, hurt creature needed her help, and she was going to give it. Maya held the small creature carefully in her arms as she and Ben flew back to the space station. The creature was warm and surprisingly light, like holding a large bird. Its scales felt smooth under her hands, and they kept changing colors as the creature breathed. Sometimes they were purple, sometimes silver, and sometimes a soft blue like the sky on Earth. "What are we going to do with it?" Ben asked as he piloted the shuttle. "I don't know yet," Maya said, "but we can't just leave it to die." The creature looked up at Maya with its large eyes. They were not like human eyes or animal eyes from Earth. They had many colors in them. It's like looking into a crystal, and Maya could see intelligence there that made her heart race. When they got back to the space station, Maya faced her first big problem. She could not take the creature to the main lab where everyone would see it. Dr. Harper would want to study it like a science experiment. And Maya felt that would be wrong. This creature was hurt and scared. It needed care, not tests. "There's that old storage room in Section C," Ben said quietly as they walked through the station's hallways. "Nobody goes there anymore." Maya nodded. Section C was the oldest part of the station, built when the station was first made. Most of the equipment there was old and not used anymore. It would be a good place to hide the creature, while Maya figured out what to do. They set up a small room for the creature, using old blankets and some heat lamps from the storage area. Maya brought food and water from the main lab, though she was not sure what the creature would eat. She also brought medical supplies to help with its injuries. The creature watched everything Maya did with careful attention. It seemed to understand that she was trying to help. When Maya cleaned its cuts with antiseptic, the creature held very still, even though Maya knew it must hurt. "You're very brave," Maya told the creature as she worked. She decided to give it a name. "I'll call you Zara. It means blooming flower in an old earth language, because your scales bloom with colors." When Maya said the name, Zara's scales shifted to a warm golden color, and the creature made a soft sound that was almost like a purr. Maya smiled. Zara seemed to like her new name. Over the next few days, Maya spent every free moment with Zara. She would visit before work, during her lunch break, and after work until late at night. Ben helped by bringing supplies and keeping watch to make sure nobody discovered their secret. Maya learned amazing things about Zara very quickly. The little dragon was much smarter than any animal Maya had ever seen. On the third day, Maya was talking to Zara while cleaning her room. "I need to change your water," Maya said, pointing to the water bowl. Zara looked at the bowl, then at Maya, then pushed the bowl toward Maya with her nose. Maya stared. Had Zara understood what she said? "Zara, can you understand me?" Maya asked. Zara's scales turned bright blue, and she nodded her head up and down, just like a human would nod. Yes. Maya sat down hard on the floor. This was impossible. Animals could learn to respond to some words, but Zara seemed to really understand. Language. Over the following weeks, Maya discovered that Zara learned incredibly fast. Maya would say words and point to things, and Zara would remember them. Zara could understand hundreds of words. She could not speak like humans, but she learned to communicate in other ways. When Zara was happy, her scales turned gold or bright blue. When she was sad, they turned dark purple. When she was excited, they sparkled with many colors at once. When she wanted food, she would point to her bowl with her nose. When she wanted Maya to stay longer, she would gently grab Maya's sleeve with her small claws, but the most amazing thing was how Zara seemed to understand Maya's feelings. When Maya had a bad day at work, Zara would come and put her head on Maya's lap, and her scales would glow with a soft, comforting light. When Maya was excited about something, Zara would dance around the room, her scales flashing with happy color. Zara grew quickly. After just 1 month, she was as big as a medium-sized dog. Her wings, which had been tiny buds when Maya found her, began to grow larger. They were beautiful, with skin that looked like thin crystal but was warm and soft to touch. "She's growing so fast," Ben said one evening as he watched Zara eat. "Look at those wings. I think she might be able to fly soon." Maya looked at Zara's wings and felt worried. If Zara could fly, it would be much harder to keep her hidden. But she also felt excited. Zara was getting stronger and healthier every way. The hardest part was keeping Zara's secret from the other people on the station. Maya had to be very careful about when she visited and what supplies she took. She told everyone she was working on a special project that needed privacy. Most people believed her because Maya had always worked hard and been honest. But Dr. Harper was starting to ask questions. "Maya, you've been working very late every night," he said one day. "What's this special project you're working on?" "It's research on the biological samples from the crystal forest," Maya said, which was partly true. "I think I'm close to a breakthrough." Dr. Harper looked at her carefully. "You know you can tell me if you need help, right?" Maya nodded, but Inside, she felt bad about lying. Dr. Harper had always been good to her, but she knew he would not understand about Zara. As Zara grew bigger and smarter, Maya began to realize that keeping her secret was becoming impossible. Zara needed more space and more attention. She was lonely during the day when Maya was at work. Sometimes Maya would come to visit and find that Zara had arranged her toys in patterns, like she was trying to create art or solve puzzles. "She's bored," Maya told Ben one evening. "She needs mental stimulation. She's too smart to just sit in this room all day." "What can we do?" Ben asked. Maya had been thinking about this problem for days. "I've been bringing her some of my old textbooks. She seems to like looking at the pictures and diagrams." It was true. Zara loved books. She would look at the pages very carefully, studying the pictures and diagrams for hours. She seemed especially interested in books about mathematics and physics. When Maya showed her simple math problems, Zara would use her claws to scratch answers in the dust on the floor. She was always right. One day, Maya brought Zara a book about space and astronomy. Zara looked at the pictures of stars and planets for a long time. Then she did something that made Maya's heart stop. Zara pointed to a picture of a distant galaxy, then pointed to herself. "Is that where you come from?" Maya asked quietly. Zara's scales turned a deep, sad purple. She nodded. Maya realized that Zara was not just intelligent. She was homesick. She missed her family and her home among the stars. Maya felt tears in her eyes as she hugged the young dragon. "I'm sorry you're so far from home," Maya whispered, "but I'm glad you're here with me." Zara's scales shifted to warm gold, and she nuzzled against Maya's shoulder. Even though she was sad about her home, she seemed to understand that Maya cared about her. Their friendship grew stronger every day. Maya had never felt so close to another living being, not even other humans. Zara seemed to understand Maya's thoughts and feelings in a way that was almost magical. Sometimes Maya would be thinking about a problem at work, and Zara would bring her a book or object that somehow related to the problem. But their secret life could not last forever. Morning. Maya came to visit Zara and found Dr. Harper standing in the hallway outside Section C. "Maya," he said quietly, "we need to talk." Maya's heart sank. Their secret was discovered. Everything was about to change, and Maya did not know if it would be for better or worse. She only knew that she would do anything to protect Zara. No matter what happened next. Behind the door, Maya could hear Zara moving around, probably wondering why Maya had not come to visit yet. The young dragon had no idea that their hidden life together was about to end. Maya's hands shook as she looked at Dr. Harper standing in the hallway. She had known this day would come, but she was not ready for it. Behind the door, she could hear Zara moving around, probably wondering why Maya was late for their morning visit. "Dr. Harper, I can explain," Maya started to say. "Maya, I've known about your secret for 2 weeks," Dr. Harper said softly. "I followed you one night because I was worried about you. You've been acting strange, working late, taking supplies. I thought you might be sick or in trouble." Maya felt her face turn red. "You've been watching me? I was worried about you." Dr. Harper said again, "You're like a daughter to me, Maya. But when I saw what you've been hiding, I realized this is much bigger than I thought." Dr. Harper walked to the door of Zara's room and knocked gently. "May I come in?" Maya's heart pounded, but she nodded. There was no point in lying anymore. She opened the door and stepped inside. Dr. Harper followed her. Zara was sitting in the middle of the room, looking at a book about Earth's history. When she saw Dr. Harper, her scales turned dark blue, which Maya knew meant she was nervous. But Zara did not try to hide or run away. Instead, she looked at Maya as if asking what she should do. "It's okay, Zara," Maya said. "This is Dr. Harper. He's my friend." Zara looked at Dr. Harper for a long moment. Then, to Maya's surprise, Zara bowed her head in a polite greeting, just like humans do when they meet someone important. Dr. Harper stared at Zara with wide eyes. "She understood what you said, and she just greeted me." "Zara is very smart," Maya said. "Smarter than any creature I've ever seen." Dr. Harper walked slowly around the room, looking at everything Maya had set up. For Zara, he saw the books, the toys, the art materials, and the complex patterns Zara had made with colored stones. How long have you been caring for her? Dr. Harper asked. Almost 6 months, Maya said. Ben and I found her when we followed that distress signal. She was hurt and alone. Dr. Harper picked up one of Zara's books and flipped through it. It was a mathematics textbook, and there were scratches in the margins where Zara had worked out problems. She can do math, Dr. Harper asked. She's better at math than I am, Maya admitted. She can solve problems that take me hours to figure out. Dr. Harper looked at Zara again. What else can she do? Maya spent the next hour showing Dr. Harper all of Zara's abilities. She showed him how Zara could understand complex sentences, how she could solve puzzles, and how she seemed to know things about science and space that no Earth creatures should know. The most amazing demonstration came when Dr. Harper asked Maya to show him Zara's communication skills. Maya picked up a piece of paper and drew simple pictures while talking to Zara. Zara, can you show Dr. Harper where you come from? Maya asked. Zara looked at the paper, then took a pencil in her claws. She drew a picture that made both Maya and Dr. Harper gasp. It was a detailed map of the local star systems, with lines showing the path from a distant star to their planet. The drawing was so accurate it looked like it came from a computer. This is impossible, Dr. Harper whispered. How does she know this? Zara's scales shifted to a deep purple, and she pointed to her head, then to the sky outside the window. Maya had learned to understand Zara's gestures, and she translated. She's saying the knowledge is in her head, and it comes from up there. From space, Maya said. Dr. Harper sat down heavily in a chair. Maya, do you understand what this means? This creature's not just intelligent. She's from an advanced civilization. This is first contact with an alien species. Maya nodded. She had realized this weeks ago, but hearing Dr. Harper say it made it feel more real and more scary. What are we going to do? Maya asked. Dr. Harper was quiet for a long time, thinking. Finally, he said, we need to tell the authorities on Earth. This is too big to keep secret. No, Maya said quickly. If you tell them about Zara, they'll take her away. They'll want to study her like a lab animal. She's not just a scientific discovery, she's my friend. Dr. Harper looked at the worry on Maya's face, then at Zara, who seemed to understand they were talking about her. Zara walked over to Maya and gently touched her hand with her nose, offering comfort. I can see that you care about each other, Dr. Harper said slowly. But Maya, if this creature is really from another world, her people might be looking for her. And Earth's governments need to know that we've made contact with aliens. Maya knew Dr. Harper was right, but the thought of losing Zara made her feel sick. Zara had become the most important thing in her life. They understood each other in a way that Maya had never experienced with another human. Can we wait a little longer? Maya asked. Give me time to prepare Zara for what might happen. Dr. Harper thought about this. I'll give you 2 weeks, he decided, but then we have to report this officially. It's too important to keep secret any longer. Over the next 2 weeks, Maya spent even more time with Zara. She tried to explain what might happen, that other people would want to meet Zara and study her. Zara seemed to understand, but her scales often turned sad colors when Maya talked about it. During this time, Zara continued to grow and develop new abilities. She was now as big as a small horse, and her wings were fully developed. Maya had moved her to a larger room, but even that was becoming too small. More importantly, Zara began doing things that seemed impossible according to human science. Sometimes when she was thinking hard about a problem, small objects near her would float in the air. Other times, the lights in the room would flicker in patterns that matched her thoughts. She's manipulating energy somehow, Ben said one evening as they watched Zara make a pencil spin in the air without touching it. This is beyond anything we understand about physics. Maya had also noticed that Zara seemed to be communicating with something far away. Often Zara would sit very still for hours, her scales pulsing with rhythmic patterns of light. During these times, Maya felt like Zara was listening to voices that only she could hear. Are you talking to someone? Maya asked one day when Zara came out of one of these trances. Zara's scales turned silver and she nodded. Then she pointed to the sky and held up many claws, indicating a large number. Many people. Your family? Maya asked. Zara nodded again, but her scales turned purple with sadness. Maya realized that Zara was homesick and had found a way to communicate with her people across the vast distances of space. The 2 weeks passed quickly, and soon Maya found herself in Dr. Harper's office with officials from Earth who had come to the station on a special ship. There were scientists, military officers, and government representatives. They all wanted to see Zara. Maya was terrified, but she had spent the time preparing Zara for this moment. When they all went to meet Zara, Maya was proud of how brave her friend was. Zara sat calmly in the center of her room as the Earth's officials stared at her in amazement. She looked at each person carefully, as if judging their character. When the military officer stepped forward aggressively, Zara's scales turned warning red. But when one of the scientists spoke gently, Zara's scales shifted to a welcoming blue. She can read people, Maya explained. She knows who means her harm and who doesn't. The lead scientist, Dr. Lisa Morgan, knelt down in front of Zara.
Hello,
she said softly. My name is Lisa. I'm a friend of Maya's. Zara looked at Dr. Morgan for a long moment, then bowed her head politely, just as she had done with Dr. Harper. Incredible, Dr. Morgan whispered. She has perfect manners.
Oh.
This shows advanced social intelligence. Over the next few hours, the Earth officials asked Maya hundreds of questions about Zara. They wanted to know everything about her abilities, her intelligence, and her possible origins. Maya answered honestly, but she also made it clear that Zara was not just a scientific specimen. She has feelings, Maya said firmly. She gets happy, sad, lonely, and excited, just like humans do. She's not just intelligent. She's a person, even if she's not human. The officials talked among themselves. For a long time, finally Dr. Morgan spoke to Maya. We're going to need to study her more, she said. But we understand that you have a special relationship with her. We want you to continue caring for her and helping us communicate with her. Maya felt relieved, but she also knew that everything was about to change. Their quiet life together was over. Now Zara would be the center of attention from the most important people on Earth. That night, as Maya sat with Zara in her room, she wondered what the future would bring. Zara seemed to sense her worries, and she rested her large head on Maya's lap, her scales glowing with comforting colors. Whatever happens, Maya told Zara, we'll face it together. Zara's scales turned warm gold, and Maya knew she understood. They had faced everything together so far, and they would continue to do so, no matter how big and complicated their world was about to become. Maya woke up to alarms blaring throughout the space station. Red lights flashed in the hallways, and she could hear people running and shouting. She jumped out of bed and ran to find Dr. Harper. What's happening? Maya asked when she found him. In the control room, Dr. Harper pointed to the big screen that showed space around their station. Look, he said. Maya looked at the screen and felt her heart stop. There was a ship in space near their station, but it was like nothing humans had ever built. The ship was huge, bigger than 10 space stations put together. It was black and silver, and it seemed to bend light around itself in strange ways. It moved without making any sound or showing any engines. When did it arrive? Maya asked. About an hour ago, Dr. Harper said. It just appeared. One moment there was nothing there, and the next moment there it was. Maya felt scared and excited. At the same time, she had a feeling this ship was connected to Zara somehow. Have they tried to communicate with us? Maya asked. That's the strangest part, Dr. Harper said. They sent us a message, but it was in perfect English. Dr. Harper played the message for Maya. A voice that sounded calm and wise came through the speakers. Greetings, humans of research. Station 7. We have come for our child. We mean you no harm. We wish to speak with the one who is cared for. Her Maya felt her knees go weak. They're talking about Zara, she whispered. Maya, I think you need to go see Zara right now, Dr. Harper said. She's been acting very strange since the ship arrived. Maya ran through the hallways to Zara's room. When she opened the door, she found Zara sitting in the center of the room, perfectly still. Her scales were glowing brighter than Maya had. Ever seen them? Pulsing with patterns of light that looked like a language? Zara? Maya called softly. Zara turned to look at Maya, and her eyes were different. They seemed older somehow, full of knowledge that had not been there before. Zara stood up and walked over to Maya. but her movements were more graceful and purposeful than usual. Zara looked at Maya for a long moment, then did something she had never done before. She spoke, not with words, but Maya could hear her voice. In her mind, Zara's voice said inside Maya's head, "I must tell you the truth. I have not been honest with you." Maya sat down hard on the floor. "You can talk to me in my mind?" "I've always been able to," Zara said, "but I was told not to until my people came for me." Maya felt confused and hurt. "Told by who?" "Do you mean came for you? I thought you were lost and alone." Zara's scales turned deep purple with sadness. "I was never lost, Maya. I was sent here. My people have been watching your species for many years, trying to decide if humans were ready to know about us." Maya felt like the world was spinning around. "Her? You were spying on us." "Not spying," Zara said quickly. "Learning. My people needed to know if humans could be trusted. If they were kind and wise enough to join the greater community of intelligent species in the galaxy." Maya stood up and walked to the window. She could see the alien ship hanging in space, waiting. "So everything between us was a lie? Our friendship was just part of your mission?" What? Zara made a sound of distress, and her scales flashed with many colors at once. "No, Maya, that is not true. Yes, I was sent here to learn about humans, but what happened between us was real. I was supposed to observe from a distance, but when I crashed and you found me, everything changed." Maya turned back to look at Zara. "What do you mean?" "Supposed to live among humans secretly, watching and learning. But when you cared for me, when you showed me such kindness, even though you did not know what I was, I learned something my people had not expected me to learn." "What?" Maya asked. "I learned what love feels like," Zara said. "Not just friendship or caring, but the deep love of family. You became my family, Maya. That was never part of the plan." Maya felt tears in her eyes, despite everything she knew. Zara was telling the truth. Their bond was real, even if it had started as something else. "What happens now?" Maya asked. "My people want to meet with your leaders," Zara explained. "They want to offer humans a chance to join the Galactic Collective." "Yes." "A group of many intelligent species that work together across the stars. But first, they want to meet you." "Me? Why me?" "Because of how you treated me," Zara said. "I have been sending reports to my people about human behavior. Most of my reports have been about you, Maya, how you risked your career to save me, how you cared. For me, even when you did not know what I was. How you treated me like family instead of like a scientific experiment." Maya wiped her eyes. "And what did you tell them?" "I told them that humans have great capacity for love and kindness. They can put compassion before rules, like that they are ready to be part of something bigger than just their own world." Dr. Harper's voice came over the communication system in Zara's room. "Maya, please come to the main conference room. The alien ship is requesting to speak with you." Maya looked at Zara. "Will you come with me?" "Of course," Zara said. "We face this together, just like we have faced everything else." Maya and Zara walked through the station together. All the other people they passed stared at them, but Maya did not care. She held her head high as she walked beside her friend. In the conference room, Dr. Harper and the Earth officials were gathered around a large screen. On the screen was a face that looked like Zara, but older and larger. The creature had the same intelligent eyes and color-changing scales, but there was an ancient wisdom in its expression. "Greetings, Maya Rodriguez," the creature on the screen said. "I am Elder Vex, leader of the Ethon Council. You have been caring for my daughter." Maya looked at Zara in shock. "Your daughter?" Zara's scales turned embarrassed pink. "I forgot to mention that part." Elder Vex continued speaking. "Zara was chosen for this mission because she is young and adaptable, but also because she has strong empathic abilities. She can sense the true character of other beings. Her reports about you and your species have been very positive." "What kind of reports?" Maya asked. "Reports about human compassion, intelligence, and potential for growth," Elder Vex explained. "Based on Zara's observations, particularly her relationship with you, the Ethon Council has decided to offer humanity membership in the Galactic Collective. Dr. Morgan stepped forward. What does that mean exactly? It means humans will be welcomed into a community of thousands of intelligent species, Elder Vex said. You will have access to advanced technology, knowledge, and friendship across the galaxy. But you must prove you are ready for such responsibility. How do we prove that? Dr. Harper asked. By solving the problems of your own world first, Elder, Vex explained. War, poverty, environmental destruction, hatred between different groups of humans, species that cannot live in peace with themselves, cannot live in peace with others. Maya felt overwhelmed by all this information. How long do we have? The process will take many years, Elder Vex said. We will provide guidance and some technology to help, but humans must do the work themselves. And we would like Maya Rodriguez to serve as the first human ambassador to our people. What does that mean? Maya asked. It means you would travel between Earth and our worlds, helping both species understand each other better, Elder Vex explained. Zara has recommended you for this position because of the trust and understanding you have built together. Maya looked at Zara, who was watching her with hopeful eyes. If you accept the position, you and Zara would work as a team, Elder Vex said. She would return home with our people, but you would visit often, and she would spend time on Earth with you. Maya realized this was the most important decision of her life. Everything she had known was about to change. But as she looked at Zara, she knew what her answer would be. I accept, Maya said. But I have one condition. What condition? Elder Vex asked. Zara gets to choose too. She wants to stay with me on Earth longer, or if she wants to go home. It should be her choice. Delda. Vex looked surprised, then pleased. That you would put her wishes before your own shows? Exactly why we believe humans are ready for this opportunity. Zara moved closer to Maya and nuzzled her hand. I choose to be with Maya, she said in Maya's mind. Wherever that takes us, Maya smiled and put her hand on Zara's head. Their adventure together was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning. 3 months later, Maya stood in the main conference room of Research Station 7, but it looked completely different now. The room had been expanded and redesigned to welcome visitors from other worlds. Representatives from every country on Earth had come to witness the most important day in human history. Maya wore a special blue uniform that marked her. As Earth's first galactic ambassador, next to her stood Zara, who was now fully grown and magnificent. Zara's scales sparkled with silver and gold, and her wings were spread wide to show respect for the ceremony they were about to witness. Are you nervous? Zara asked Maya through their mental connection. Very nervous, Maya admitted, but also excited. Today was the day that humanity would officially join the Galactic Collective. Over the past 3 months, Maya had traveled 3 different alien worlds with Zara, learning about the vast community of intelligent species that existed among the stars. What she had seen amazed her beyond anything she had imagined. The Galactic Collective included thousands of different species, from beings that looked like living crystals to creatures made of pure energy. Some were very advanced, having traveled the stars for millions of years. Others were younger species, like humans, just beginning to explore beyond their home worlds. All of them worked together, sharing knowledge and resources, helping each other solve problems and grow. There were no wars between species in the collective, no poverty, and no destruction of planets. It was everything humanity dreamed of becoming. But joining the collective was not easy. Humans had to prove they could change their ways on Earth first. Over the past 3 months, amazing things had begun to happen on Maya's home planet. The technology shared by the Ethon had helped solve many problems. New energy sources ended the need for pollution-causing fuels. Advanced farming methods ended hunger in many parts of the world. Medical knowledge from alien species helped cure diseases that had plagued humanity for centuries. More importantly, knowing that humans were not alone in the universe had changed how people thought about each other. Many of the old reasons for fighting seemed silly when compared to the vast community waiting among the stars. Countries that had been enemies for hundreds of years began working together. It was not perfect yet. There were still problems, still people who resisted change. But progress was being made faster than anyone had thought possible. "The Ethon delegation is arriving," Dr. Harper announced from his position at the communication station. Maya looked out the large window and saw something that still took her breath away. Elder Vex and 5 other adult Ethon were materializing in the space outside the station, arriving through their advanced transportation technology. They did not need ships for short trips like this. They could simply appear wherever they wanted. To go, the adult Ethon were beautiful and impressive. They were much larger than Zara, standing 12 feet tall, with scales that seemed to contain entire galaxies within their depths. Their wings were enormous, and when they moved, they seemed to bend space around themselves. Maya had learned that the Ethon were one of the oldest species in the galaxy. They had been traveling the stars for over 1,000,000 years, and they had helped many younger species join the Galactic Collective. They were known for their wisdom and kindness, which was why they had been chosen to guide humanity's entry into the galactic community. Elder Vex appeared in the conference room with a flash of light. Maya bowed respectfully as she had learned to do during her visits to the Ethon worlds. "Greetings, Ambassador Maya," Elder Vex said. "Are the representatives of Earth ready for this ceremony?" Maya looked around the room at the gathered humans. There were presidents and prime ministers, scientists and artists, young people and old people.
Yes.
All of them were here to witness humanity's next great step. "We are ready," Maya said. Elder Vex moved to the center of the room. When she spoke, her voice somehow reached every person on Earth at the same time, translated into every human language. "Hey, people of Earth," Elder Vex began, "today marks the beginning of a new chapter in your species' story. For the past 3 months, you have shown remarkable progress in solving the problems that have divided your world for so long." Maya watched the faces of the humans in the room. Many had tears in their eyes. This moment had seemed impossible just a few months ago. Have reduced warfare between your nations. You have begun sharing resources to end poverty and hunger. You have started working together to heal your planet's environment. Most importantly, you have shown that you can change when you understand that change is necessary. Elder Vex gestured to Maya and Zara. This transformation began with one act of kindness. Maya Rodriguez found a young creature in need and chose to help, even though she did not know what that creature was or where it came from. That single act of compassion has led to the greatest change in your planet's history. Maya felt her cheeks turn red. She had never wanted to be the center of attention. But she understood that her story with Zara had become a symbol of what humans could be at their best. "The Galactic Collective welcomes humanity as its newest members," Elder Vex announced. "You will have access to our knowledge, our technology, and our friendship. In return, you will contribute your own unique gifts to our community." "What gifts do humans have to offer?" asked the president of the Global Earth Council, a new organization that had been formed to represent all of humanity. Elder Vex's scales shifted to warm colors that Maya knew meant happiness. "Humans have remarkable resilience and creativity. You solve problems in ways that other species have never thought of. You have strong emotions that drive you to care for others, even strangers, and you have an ability to change and grow that is rare among intelligent species." Zara stepped forward and spoke so that everyone could hear her. "In the time I have lived among humans, I have learned that you are capable of great love and great courage. You are not perfect, but you try to become better. That is what makes you ready to join the galactic community." Elder Vex touched a device that appeared in her hand. "This is a quantum communication device that will connect Earth to the galactic network. Through this, you will be able to speak with any member species instantly, no matter how far away they are." She handed the device to Maya. "As Earth's first galactic ambassador, you will be responsible for helping your people learn to use this connection wisely." Maya took the device carefully. It was warm in her hands and seemed to pulse with energy. "I understand the responsibility," she said. "There is one more thing," Elder Vex said. "Maya Rodriguez, your relationship with Zara has shown both our species that friendship can exist between any intelligent beings, no matter how different they appear. Because of this, we would like to offer you a permanent home among the stars, if you choose to accept it." Maya looked at Zara, who was watching her with loving eyes. What exactly are you offering? A position as a permanent liaison between humans and the Ethon. You would live part of your time on Earth and part of your time on our home world. Zara would be your partner in this work, helping both species understand each other better. Maya thought about her old life, working alone in a lab, studying samples from distant worlds. Now she was being offered the chance to visit those worlds. Herself, to be part of something bigger than she had ever imagined. What about my work here? Maya asked. Your work now is helping humanity take its place among the stars, Elder Vex said. There will be new challenges ahead. Not all species in the galaxy are as peaceful as the collective members. There are dangers in space that Earth will need to help face. But you will not face them alone. Maya looked around the room at all the humans watching her. Then she looked at Zara, her closest friend and partner. I accept, Maya said. No. But I want to make sure that other humans have the same opportunities. I don't want to be the only one who gets to see the galaxy. Elder Vex nodded approvingly. That is exactly the kind of thinking that convinced us humans were ready for this step. There will be exchange programs, joint research projects, and many opportunities for humans to explore beyond Earth. The ceremony continued for several more hours, with representatives from other collective species welcoming humanity via quantum communication. Maya met beings made of living light, creatures that existed in multiple dimensions at once, and ancient machines that had become sentient millions of years ago. Each species had something different to offer, and each was excited to learn what humans would contribute to their community. Maya realized that humanity's journey was just beginning. That evening, Maya and Zara stood together on the observation deck of the station, looking out at the stars. Tomorrow, they would travel to the Ethon homeworld to begin their new work. As ambassadors, are you ready for this adventure? Zara asked. Maya smiled and put her hand on Zara's neck. 7 years ago, I thought I was just saving an injured animal. I never imagined it would lead to this. The best journeys always begin with a single step, Zara said. And the first step is always choosing to help someone who needs it. Maya nodded. She had learned that the universe was vast and full of wonders. But the most important thing in any world is the connections between living beings who cared for each other. As they prepared to leave for the stars, Maya knew that her greatest adventure was not behind her, but ahead.